We got down to Fenway this morning, and fans were starting to gather 10 and 12 hours before the game. Yeah, but I think last night's loss demoralized, maybe even emotionally scarred some Sox fans. I'm on Boylston Street right now by Copley Square, and if you look behind me here, you can see we do have, well, let's look down on the ground. We've got maybe an inch. There's one reason and one reason alone that everybody's tackling this so quickly, and that's because they want to be done by kickoff. They're happy fans, they're loosening their wallets, they're spending their money on everything from meals to just about any World Series trinket you can think of. It has been a big boom for the small businesses in this area. On Yawkey Way, the best sausage company has become the busy sausage company.
Pepsi, sodas, pizza, hot dogs, sausages, onions, peppers, you name it, we have it.
The cooks here are tossing pizzas and grilling dogs from 10 a.m. to 3 a.m. to feed the hungry fans. What did you have to do to prepare for this?
Well, we had to call all our suppliers up very quickly because we didn't really have that much time. We only had a couple of days.
The October chill has numbed the hands of the face painting lady, but the tips have warmed her heart.
Very, very cold, but it's worth it.
It's 8 hours before game time, and fans are already burning up the credit cards at souvenir stands. They weren't expecting this.
It's just been out of control. People have been really responding well, especially when we win.
Do you have a budget in mind?
No, just something I like. We'll get it.
And it doesn't matter what the price tag is, huh?
Don't have much say in that, do I?
The baseball boom times are being felt blocks away on Boylston.
I want the pin of World Series. Sure. Can I have 4 of those? Yeah.
This is Fenway Sports World, where a steady stream of shoppers are spending.
The World Series, people want all the stuff. They've got to have it. You know, they got to have the hats. They got to have the tees.
And you got to have your tickets if you're going to get in. This is the shot of the crowds waiting to get into the ballpark tonight. There are bands playing, people buying their last-minute souvenirs and gifts. You could probably spend hundreds of dollars if you wanted to, even thousands on all of the trinkets at Fenway Sports World or elsewhere. You could also show your love of the Sox for merely $1 for one of these little red wristbands that says, "We Believe 2004." Now, I'm sure a lot of Red Sox fans would like to see maybe a 4-game sweep, but it's safe to say that a lot of business owners wouldn't mind a 7-game series because they are really raking it in right now. As people file through Kenmore Square on their way to Fenway tonight, there are a few smiling faces. They're going to a ball game in October, but a lot of stony-faced people are making a death march, it seems. And the reason is they just don't have confidence in pitcher Derek Lowe. The signs outside Fenway implore Sox fans to keep the faith, but 12-year-old Adam Hoffman just can't do it.
Every good fan should believe in their team, but with the Red Sox, you can't really believe in them.
Well, tonight's pitcher, Derek Lowe, was wildly popular after beating Oakland in Game 5 of last year's ALDS.
Strike 3 called, and the Boston Red Sox have come from behind.
Today, he inspires only ambivalence.
Derek Lowe, he's good, but, you know, Martinez is better. You know, so I think that they should seriously think about putting Martinez on the plate.
He might go 4.
4 innings?
Yeah.
And then they'll what, rock him out of the park?
Yeah. He's going to do pretty good in 4.
Well, Pedro has the faith, Manny has the faith, but Stuart Onan believes in hitting.
We're pitting on the offense. You know, we're not going to win 1-0 tonight.
It is a long way to Sox in 7, and nobody's betting their lunch money.
Well, I have a lot of confidence, but I'm just not showing it right now.
Not exactly a ringing endorsement, but I tell you what, a win would go a long way toward healing the psyche of Red Sox Nation tonight. I'm on Boylston Street right now by Copley Square, and if you look behind me here, you can see we do have, well, let's look down on the ground. We've got maybe an inch. It's not too bad. It's exactly the way you said it was, though. If we look out on the roads here and see what drivers are dealing with, don't go too far out, Zip. See right there. There we go. It's just sort of wet and bare, and it's been like that all over the area. We have been from the North Shore out to Cape Cod today to see what the conditions are like. On the North Shore, the streets got slick with an icy combination of snow and sleet. In Boston, couples huddled under umbrellas to avoid the chilly winds. And in Braintree, the highway department has been sanding since 5 o'clock.
Our drivers that are out on the roads They radio back to us, let us know what the road conditions are out there. And in this case here, they're talking 4 to 6 inches. So once we get 2 to 3 in the ground, we make a call in all of our employees first, get them in their trucks and get them out. And as soon as we get our trucks out, then we call in the private contractors.
On Cape Cod, they're preparing for a lesser version of this, the heavy snowfall that fell a day after Christmas. But nobody we met's too concerned about 5 or 10 inches. In fact, some people are looking forward to it.
This is why I live in New England. If I wanted warm weather, I'd live in Florida.
Who does a snowplow driver call when he has a flat tire? This man moved from Norway to Norwood 10 years ago, but there was no leaving behind the snow.
It's like a wind tunnel, and all the snow accumulates there, so.
More than 2 feet accumulated in many places south of Boston. Removing it calls for teamwork with some neighbors.
He does his, and then he lets me use his snow blower, so.
Well, that's nice.
So it works pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then you should have it licked fairly quickly.
I think so. Time enough for the game.
For some, it's a solitary endeavor.
We're 2 teenage boys. You think they'd be out here helping me? No, one's at a friend's house, one's still sleeping. He's a college student.
I'd say they're grounded.
I'm too easy.
There's one reason and one reason alone that everybody's tackling this so quickly, and that's because they want to be done by kickoff.
Kickoff is 6:30, and that's my main objective. Get it done quick so I can get down in front of the TV and hopefully for a Patriots victory.
Maybe it's a good thing the game isn't here in Foxborough. After all this, who'd have the energy to clear a seat? More fallout from those pictures of U.S. soldiers and Iraqi prisoners. President Bush is calling for strong action from the Pentagon to punish anyone guilty of abuse. 6 soldiers are under criminal investigation, and 7 higher-ups have been punished by the Army, and the probe could widen. Brooke Hart has the latest from Washington. Some liberal Catholics in Phoenix say they fear their church may undergo a conservative shift. Bishop Thomas Olmsted was installed in December, and since then he's put an emphasis on battling abortion and gay rights. 6 people were hurt after high winds and heavy rain pounded southern Georgia. The storm struck Sunday afternoon and leveled this mobile home in Randolph County, west of Albany. Another 5 homes were also damaged, but no one was hurt. The National Weather Service estimate winds from the storm were in excess of 70 miles per hour. There was an emotional ceremony in San Jose, California yesterday to remember Army Ranger and former football star Pat Tillman. Hundreds of people attended the service. Tillman died in a firefight in Afghanistan last month, and the Army says he sacrificed his own life to save other soldiers in his platoon. 6 people are dead and at least 30 more seriously injured following a stampede triggered by a fire in a garment factory in Bangladesh. Workers at the factory panicked and rushed for the doors when the fire started, but the main door to the factory was locked and several women were crushed as the crowd pushed forward. Well, the Federal Open Market Committee meets today to discuss interest rates. This will be the Fed's first meeting since upbeat economic reports showed the highest job expansion and inflationary pressure in years. Analysts are expecting an interest rate hike, but most are convinced that it won't happen today. A dashboard camera shows a high-speed chase that ended with a teenager dead and another injured. The video, released by the Pima County Sheriff's Department, shows the driver, 16-year-old Gabriela Grijalva, running several stop signs. That chase ended in a rollover, killing Grijalva and seriously injuring her passenger. But the Sheriff's Department expects that an internal review will show deputies followed proper procedures. Welcome back to Eyewitness News for Daybreak. We're taking a look at this morning's top stories. Tucson police are investigating a former judge after he destroyed a check that detectives say was evidence in a fraud case. Former Judge Paul Benales says he did nothing wrong when he ripped it up. The check belonged to 2 individuals who pleaded guilty to writing fraudulent checks. A former inmate involved in the hostage standoff at the Arizona State Prison near Buckeye now has a new home. Stephen Coy left Arizona for Maine. He and cellmate Ricky Wassenaar, you'll recall, held 2 corrections officers hostage for nearly 2 weeks, surrendering. In their surrender deal, both Coy and Wassenaar agreed to be, or asked to be, transferred out of state. And is it good news for seniors? A new Medicare-backed discount program is in effect, but it's not the only way to save a buck or two. Crooked contractors, fair warning, the state's after you. The Registrar of Contractors is posting names of the most wanted home repair fraud artists on its website, and they're about to launch a sting. Agents posing as homeowners will be luring in unlicensed and crooked contractors. Well, you'll soon be able to get the status of your credit for free. Arizonans will be among the first in the nation to benefit from a new federal law that makes it easier for you to get your credit report. The Disney Cruise Line is testing the waters for expansion. The company is making plans for one of its 2 ships to set sail from the West Coast starting next year. School is in for shock rocker Alice Cooper. The singer's being awarded an honorary doctorate from Grand Canyon College in Phoenix. The 56-year-old will be given the honorary degree May 8th at the Christian Liberal Arts College's commencement ceremony. The school says Cooper has been a financial supporter of the school. He's not such a shock rocker. I think he's just a big teddy bear. Plays golf these days, owns a restaurant, gives his money away. I think he's a really nice guy.